Hey y'all. I'm going live to just really talk about what's been going on. I'm actually chatting live from a Airbnb that I'm staying at in West Oakland. And this being one of my last days in Oakland, I do want to just talk a little bit about um So I told y'all the reason why I wanted to start this channel, and you know, it's a lot of things that are really like hitting home right now, especially with Anthony Bourdin, because around this time last year, I personally was in a very serious struggle, and it was because I felt like my foundation in my career, my foundation in my housing, my foundation in so many things, in my personal romantic relationships, really, I was not in the best place. And I remember just really for weeks not wanting to get out of my bed, feeling completely isolated, not wanting to call people, not knowing who to talk to, calling my parents to tell them, like, finally, after weeks of doing that, like, I'm in a really bad place. Um, so just to think about Anthony Bourdain and like somebody that I've personally looked up to for a really, really long time as a person who has always wanted to see the world, has always wanted to learn so much more about people so that I can be more connected to people and really work with people and building communities. It's really heartbreaking for me to hear that Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. So, man, wow. I'm still just really in shock in general. But for me, I think this is a really great chance to really talk about why I wanted to start this channel. And I can see that, we all love social media. We all spend a lot of time on it. So why are we not using social media as a means to heal as a community, to talk about things that we really need to talk about, and to exchange information about possible help and assistance that you can get when you're feeling at your absolute worst. So many of you might know that I do and live restorative justice, and restorative justice is a means of building relationship and community and building it to a point so that when you have harm, when you have conflict, that you can come to a better understanding of yourself and the people that you're in relationship with. Um, in another video, I'll go into what all of that means, but the point of me making this is because I feel like we can use those very things. I can use my very skills to help people here online. And I really feel like I know so many people are struggling and trying to find their way through. And it's like, how do we really come together and have these conversations so that we don't have to feel alone and isolated? We don't have to feel as though we don't have anybody. And, as a person who spent most of my life being the funny friend, the strong friend, mostly humor, I had to come to a place in myself and be like, wait, there's a lot of things that you have learned as, safe behavior, right? As to not actually working through your emotions and not living in your emotions. So, like, for example, if somebody in my family died, I would just, try to find different ways to distract myself and actually dealing with it. And so for many years, for me, those things have built up. And I'm coming to a point where I'm like, I can't do this. And I know for a fact that there's so many Black women who feel the same way, who feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, who feel like there's not space or spaces made where Black women can cry, can express themselves, can say, you know what, I am depressed, I am sad. These are things that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And a lot of things and the ways that we see it, especially, me working in schools for this past 10 years, it might look like, the little black girl that they want to say got an attitude. They want to say, she's always quiet. It can look so many different ways. And the reason why I bring this up is because, and having to really think about when I was going through what I was going through, like, where is the actual space for me to cry? When is the last time I cried? First of all, that was not a thing that I did. Different ways that then end up manifesting itself in depression and mental illness and a lot of different things. So really, I think about this time to be a time that we really take back our lives and we start having real ass conversations with each other. And it's not just about Anthony Bourdin. Like, it's about us being able to be like, you know what? There is community. Community is important. Community has always been important to my survival. People don't exist without other humans. So once you believe that that is the case, it is a very dangerous place to be in. It is a very isolating place to be in. And I just hope that for a lot of people, that this becomes a time that we can really start having these conversations with each other and going more in depth and building community around this. Because the fact is, if we don't take care of each other, then who's going to take care of us, right? You can't do it by yourself. And I just wanted to really do this live because I had a lot of things on my mind. And there will be more structured videos about this in particular, and talking more in depth about community healing and how that can look. But I wanted to get on here today and just really talk about my feelings around, just learning that Anthony Bourdain, took his own life. And, it's so many people who we never know what they're going through. And it's so important that we try to really reach out, And if a friend comes to mind, there's a reason that friend came to mind. Reach out. Because sometimes it's all about somebody knowing that you give a goddamn. And then they can further the conversation with you. But if we're not reaching out, then people can't even say, you know what, I've been feeling, man, I've been at my worst. And I have so many conversations with a lot of my friends about this and things that they're going through. And so the time is now. The time is now. There's a lot of things that are shifting, and they're shifting in the right direction. I truly believe that. And so take care of yourselves. I'm open to exchanging information. I'm open to having conversations with people if you just need someone to listen. And sometimes that could be worth so much. And so everybody just really take care of yourselves and reach out to the people, your friends, your family, the strong ones, the ones that don't want to talk. You don't need to force it out of them, but sometimes you just got to ask people, how are you feeling? Not how you doing, how you feeling, right? And sometimes you got to give people a phone call, because people ain't going to write how they feeling 100% through a text. So sometimes you got to pick up that phone. We have all these means of communication, and we have them for a reason. Let's use these as tools to really help each other out and care for each other. But like I said, anybody who wants to reach out via YouTube, via Instagram, via any social media that you share with me, if you want to reach out, please do so. I'm sending love and I'm sending light, baby. Yeah. Love y'all.